Alright, so we're back and we got some stuff. Not some car stuff. Just haven't been in the garage. Today's a painful day today, so I'm just kind of taking it easy. We got bike stuff. We got a new gears, freewheel gear, and new handlebars. The handlebars are slightly taller than the ones that are already on there. These are actually cruiser bars. So we're going to put some normal size 20-inch bars on there. A really small gear, 36 tooth with a 13 tooth in the rear. Now with that gear, those two gears, these ones being really small, it's going to change my gearing down from a 45/16 to roughly a 44 or a little bit lower 16. It's going to be a lot easier to pedal, a lot easier to get up to speed, but the top speed is going to come down a little bit, which I don't know if that matters yet or not. Also, one other thing it does, I'm going to show you. I know it won't matter too much, but I'm hoping that it will take this gear, or not this gear, but it will take this whole wheel and bring it up just a tad bit further, closer to the center of the bike, making pulling up a lot easier. It was never always easy on this bike. It was easier, but whew, wow, I guess I really torqued on those right there. That's never been a problem before. Yeah, that might be what's hitting the noises, hitting the gear, not over here. That might be the noise when I'm really torquing down hard. Maybe not. Anyway, it is what it is. Okay, had to get the other tools for the job. Allen keys, not sure which size yet, and a chain breaker, because we know with putting that gear on, this new front gear right here, as we can see, is going to be substantially smaller. So, and it should be really easy with a 180 millimeter. You know what? I do want to check. I believe these are 180s. Now, when I first started racing, 180 millimeter was the pretty common racing size for most people of a certain height or whatever. But it's now less common in use because there's other factors that go into what size gear you're going to use, or not gear, cranks, especially when it comes down to when you're pedaling hard. Now, when you start pedaling hard, you don't want your hips to rock. Okay, what happens is when you pedaling, say your left pedal goes on the bottom of the rotation, your left hip drops, your right hip raises. Now you don't want that to happen, because then all of a sudden you're going to feel like you're shifting all your weight and putting your power back into your hips and down, when actually the power is coming from your thighs, your legs, and your feet going down. And you want just those, like a duck underwater. A duck looks smooth on top. That's how you want your hips. You want your hips level with only your legs pedaling up and down, not your whole body. So you lose the power in that, and there's many other different things, but that's the basic. And a lot of it comes down to, what are you more comfortable using anyway? Like, some people would be more comfortable using a 170, 175, or a 180, regardless of what happens. So that's just one way to look at it. Just for a size comparison, there we are. 45 tooth and 36 tooth. Now, a lot of people are going to think, oh wow, whoop-de-doo, you're saving a whole 1.5 ounces. True, that could be the case, but at the same time, you're also losing that weight on your rotational mass, so that you don't have to spin through your legs, expend as much power to turn this gear as you would the other gear. Now, I also hear you guys saying, well, 36 tooth with a 13 tooth freewheel is basically what they use for freestyle, so that the gear doesn't get caught on the coping and whatnot. Yes, you're right. But yes, at the same time, I don't care. I can put whatever gear I want on my bike and go racing if I feel like it. If you feel otherwise, that's just your opinion. So this is what I am doing. All right, so now we want to make sure. Okay, so now we want to make sure we get everything level and straight. Leave that gear a little bit loose. Oh, that's not right. There we go. Leave that gear just a little bit loose until we get the freewheel on and the chain set up. Now, once I get, and also at the same time when it comes down to it, this bike is going to be used for me right now to decide whether or not I want to run this small of a gear, run these type of run the little bit taller handlebars or not. It's basically going to be a test platform for me for these changes that I'm going to be making going into racing again. So once I find out on these, there we go. I might as well go and tighten it because it was a little bit centered anyway. Yeah, it's a little. Oh. That's better. All right, so I got my 15 millimeter. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen up and remove the back rim. I may have to undo my brakes at the same time, but we'll get to there in a second. I hate having to deal with that when it's crooked, or twisted, I should say. All right, let's go ahead and move that up. Man, I need to get this in the re-powder coated because this paint just is not holding up. So that'll just be another one of those things for me to hurry up and get all my powder coat and stuff, my oven set up and done faster. That barrel twisted so that we can get the cable out of there. Come on. There we go. All right. We are just going to go ahead and move this out of the way, knock all the car parts all over the place. And what we got to do now, I got the tire just set on there. I want to see, oh, got to take it off again. There we go. I want to see how much chain I'm going to have to take off for one. Maybe I did have it right. Hold on. Yeah, did have it right the first time. What do you know? Let's go ahead and get it hooked on here. Oh no. Well, there's a problem. We're going to have to get a new chain anyway. Because this chain does not match the front. Okay, it matches the freewheel just fine, but it does not match the front gear, as we can see here. So that means, I wonder what size gear chain this is anyway. All right, well that just means one thing. Now I have the perfect excuse to go ahead and purchase a half-link chain. So we're not going to go that far. We're going to go ahead and take this front gear off, this freewheel off. We're going to put it back to the way it was, and then we're going to mess with the handlebars, hopefully. All right, so first thing we got to do is get this number plate removed, which is simple because just zip ties, that's all. And this is the first time this thing will be off of this bike in 17 years, I think. Same thing with this, there we go. Gosh, feels naked. I'm not used to riding the bike without all the pads on, headset, stem, and you know, whatever. So, all right. Now, it looks like when I'm standing up on the handlebars that they were riding forward, when actually in reality, they're riding in parallel with the front forks and the head tube. So, they are just at where I wanted them when they're nice and comfortable. Let's see if I can get you guys set up to about where I'm standing at. So now, I'm standing both pedals level, and this is where I'm looking, which is makes me feel like the handlebars are too far back, but they're not. This is the reason I ride this thing every day or two, because I'm awkwardly out of shape. Whew. All right, let's go back in the garage. All right, so I just measured out the handlebars. I'm going to end up taking off 7/8 from each end. I was going to try and take an inch, but I do want to, well, maybe I can take an inch because I'm always just looking at this piece right here, the where the brake lever is mounted. But we'll go ahead and leave that for another time because, all right, like I said before, we're going to leave that for another time because we still have to get a half-link chain. Come on, puppy. We got to get a half-link chain, and then once we get that half-link chain, we'll be able to get the new gear on, and then the new, we'll be able to ride the bike, see how it feels, and then go from there. So, if you like the video, like it, comment, and subscribe it. Let me know what you think and feel about all what I just said. And if you want to help support the channel, I do have my own merch available now. I'll link it down below. But thanks again for watching. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be back out here, at least working on the car to get the door done. And then we will be back on to the bike whenever the chain comes in. So until then, I'll see you later.